Happy Storytelling Saturday. This is Karen from Shrooms and Shrugs. As you can see, a couple of times this week, I had run out of color and I had to wait for yarn deliveries. So I ran out of this color, and I did have a slightly similar color to it. So I just said, screw it, because I had already ordered the cherry red because I ran out of cherry red. And I'm telling you, these mini skeins, they're completely different. They tell you like, oh, it has this much in it. No, it doesn't. Some of them are cut short. Some of them are cut short, and it makes for making my jester hats, when these mini skeins are the perfect size, it can make it very difficult. So, what am I going to tell this week? Considering that it's very late in the day, I had some stuff go on yesterday. It was just a nightmare, people. A nightmare. I got my car stuck. I originally got to work, but then the car that I was borrowing, the person forgot they had to work in the morning, so I had to come back. It was a fiasco. But I did get my car unstuck this afternoon, thankfully. And now I can relax and tell you guys a story. But instead of a story, and I know you're waiting for part 3 of Once Upon a Time Not Long Ago, I was a garden utensil. This week, I'm going to do a little PSA. Because if you didn't know, and I'm sure family and friends who watch this who do know me will know, and those of you who don't know me in real life will not know that I was a teen mom. No, not from the show, just a regular old small town teenage mother. So, I think I'll start with the red. Let's do red. Get the brim done for that. My PSA is, well, one, you should always use protection, regardless if you're on the pill or not. Because here's what they do not tell, and I'm sure maybe they're a little bit more informed. I hope they're more informed. If they're not more informed, you're definitely going to be learning something new. Let me just count this real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. What they do not tell you when it was the 90s and you're a teenage girl and you're on birth control is that when you get on an antibiotic, your birth control doesn't work no more. And I was already pretty bad at taking my birth control, so I was just setting myself up for failure. And I had no idea I was pregnant for a little while. Speaking of me and pregnancies, on top of being a teenage mom, I have had multiple pregnancies. A lot of them ended in miscarriage. I had 1 abortion. I've given birth 4 times, had 1 baby I'd given up for adoption. I have been through it all except for stillbirth. Thank goodness I have never had to go through that trauma. I've been through other traumas. Let me tell you, it is not easy. That's why I am such an advocate for sex education and mental health therapy and just making sure that you're prepared not to get pregnant. Because once you're pregnant, the truth of the matter is it doesn't matter what choice you make. It's all hard and it's all traumatizing no matter what you choose. Sorry, folks, got interrupted. Had to answer a couple questions. Anyway, where did I leave off on? Oh, no matter what you do, the choice is going to be hard. If you keep that baby, that changes your life forever. And being a young mom was horrible. I was not prepared. And I know, even if you have a good support system, which I did, for the most part. It was still hard. Adoption breaks your heart, and I think about that little boy every single day. Miscarriages, going through that is hard. There's no preparing you for the heartbreak, whether you were ready for that baby or not, whether you weren't sure what you were going to do with the baby or not, that still affects you. And abortion. I am still pro-choice. I will always be pro-choice. I will never deny a woman over her right to choose what she wants to do with her own body. But I'm telling you, as someone who has had an abortion, I was damn sure I was never going to have one again. That was probably the single most traumatizing event of my life. And the nurses were wonderful. The doctor was wonderful. They did everything they could to make it as mentally painless as possible, and it still messes with you. It still affects you. It still affects me. So that's my PSA. Therapy, sex education. Do not become a parent if you're not ready. You know, there's so many ways around and avoiding pregnancy. And let's be real, nowadays, a lot of people don't want to have kids. And you know what? I am cool with that. Even as someone who wants to be a grandmother, my daughter wants to wait and my son-in-law want to wait. And I am okay with that. Sometimes I pick on them. Sometimes I tease them. I'm like, oh, what cute little babies you would make. And I can't wait to be a grandma. But the truth of the matter is until they're ready, I don't want them having babies. And they are making the correct choice to do everything they can to not have babies. And I'm proud of them for making that decision. And I think everyone should be as thoughtful as they are when it comes to sex and pregnancy. But I think that'll be all for tonight because I have things I need to do. And this video needs to be up before midnight if it's officially going to be a storytelling Saturday. Which is crazy because most times it's by the time it loads, like I miscalculate the time and I'm thinking I'm going to have it up by midnight and it ends up being a little before midnight. So technically it's a Friday storytelling. How would you guys feel if I did Fairy Tale Fridays? I've been writing a book and I was thinking about maybe telling a chapter of my story, or maybe not quite a chapter, but maybe a few pages of my story on Fridays. I don't know. Is that safe? I don't want anyone stealing my story either. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys. But just want to say goodnight, and I will see you next week. Bye.